Okay, so it's been about 7 years since I did my last video similar to this one that I'm gonna do, but I feel God calling me to do it, so I gotta listen. I'm gonna have to be careful with my words just so that nothing gets flagged. A good friend of mine is no longer with us, per his ultimate choice. And I know, especially for Campbell County, that's pretty dang common. And there's a lot of people that I've met who have considered it, including myself. So when I hit my rock bottom in 2020, I went through a couple different programs that were like tens of thousands of dollars, where I learned all the skills I needed to fight back with my mental health struggles, as far as anxiety, depression, and believe it or not, Mayo Clinic has a word for the third one, which, think of the actual word and add suicidality. Okay, so that's an actual mental health diagnosis now. And something that one of the instructors in there said that really just resonated was that there's no research that shows that not talking about it is decreasing the and that made a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes people uncomfortable to hear about it. And it's usually the people that have never considered it, which is wonderful. But the people who have, they respond a lot more compassionately because they've been there. And I'm sure you guys can agree with me that when people say not the answer, or it's not whatever, people in Campbell County have seen that it is done, I don't want to say successfully, but that it's worked for people to literally end their pain. I guess what I was taught, though, is that it doesn't have to be your only option. Usually when you're in that state, you have zero hope. And if you were where I was, it's like you're just falling down this dark hole that never ends. And when you just kind of like cave into that darkness, like you just keep falling deeper and deeper. And it's easier than fighting back. And when you reach the point of considering the ultimate, you know, people say, like, that's so selfish. That's fine for them to say, but this video isn't for them then. Because it's like you get this tunnel vision. It's like you're so clouded by your tears. Like you're in this dark cave and you're in so much pain, that you just gotta get out. And you see just this pinhole of light. And so you start going towards it. Yeah, you may have loved ones on each side of the walls, the cave, but you can't see them. It's like you're just writhing in pain, and all you wanted to do is stop. And you know that if you can just like get to that light to get out, you can rid yourself of the pain. Or that's what your mind tells you. It's not that people aren't considering their loved ones. It's that they can't see them anymore because their pain has all their attention. And the pain is hard to describe. It's not like a physical pain, but at the same time, it is like a physical pain. It's unreal. And you just have no hope. You think that's just the only way. I'm here to tell you that it's not. What's somewhat unfortunate is that I was taught no one else can help you. You have to help you. You have to make that choice to do really hard work if you want to dig your way out of that hole. And I'm all about metaphors, so I explained it like I was hiking. I was hooked to a rope, hiking up the side, hanging onto the dirt and grabbing the rocks. It's so freaking hard. Every once in a while, I just had to like sit and take a breather. Because it's hard. It's hard. But it's worth it. It takes time. And I loved what Mayo Clinic said, that you're in recovery, because you are. And they said, don't be afraid to tell people that. And for some reason, like it allows them to give you more grace, even if they don't understand. And you have to give yourself grace and be patient with yourself. And I literally just had to live by taking it one day at a time, one baby step at a time, because that seemed like so much more doable for me. So after I went through these programs, I laid out like all my notes and packets and information on the ground, and I went through it all, and I tossed out what wasn't helpful or too complicated. I cut little snippets out of things that were extremely helpful, and then I like copied it all onto one page. I'm all about just keeping it simple, because the majority of us aren't going to understand all these huge words that, you know, you'd only learn in intense college courses. And I put it into this like smaller binder, and they're just skills. They're skills of, it's called like life skills. So if any of that would be helpful for you guys, I'll just have you reach out to me, and I'll figure out where to go from there. Whether to, do like one video, send you out one video a week, with, like one challenge, because you have to be willing to help you, and no one else can force you to help you. You have to be willing to do the work, and it is work, but baby steps are doable. Yeah. Anyways, 3 years later, and I have not reached that low point. I still have my seasonal struggles, which sucks, because they do explain it kind of like a lifelong disease, but it's almost like pain management and supplements and minimizing those times and how long they last and their intensity, all the good things. I just want you to know that there is hope outside of that pinhole light, especially for these younger people. I don't know why I keep saying this, but I mean, a lot of you guys have only grown up and known Gillette. And man, my life really opened up when I chose to get brave and travel and move to different places and introduce myself to new types of people. It's almost like I was introduced to parts of my identity I didn't know I had. Because, like there's only so many different types of people in Gillette. And hearing like new perspectives and experiences and knowledge and wisdom, man, like it's just, it really broadens your scope on things and gives you some hope that there's so much more out there. If you're not happy, you can change it. You can help yourself. I don't live in Gillette anymore, but I'm still willing to help you guys. So please share this with anyone and everyone that has struggled with their mental health. And it doesn't have to be people that just live in Gillette. Just send it to people that need that hope. And especially those who have contemplated chasing that pinhole light. Because even though it does end your pain, you miss out on seeing a lot of awesome things that God's already got set in stone, planned out for your life, that you just can't see yet. It's kind of like climbing a mountain. Like when you're really in that dark, low valley, and all you see is this high, steep mountain that you have to climb. Like, you don't think it's gonna get any better. But if you do the work and climb, even just for an hour, and then stop and look back and see that there's a higher view. You climb a little more, and you start to see beauty from the sides. You climb up to the top, you look back, you see how short those little patches of really hard times were. And you had some good times, short patches of bad. Or maybe they were all just dark valley, right? Then you look forward and it's still this trail, right? But you see that if you follow the trail, you're gonna like go into this beautiful Asian city filled with culture and beautiful people and people outside celebrating dancing at night, right? So then you see that a little further down, it's like this beautiful surfing town where people are just all smiles and saying hi and celebrating life. And you gotta go around. And maybe like between those, think about like Lion King, right? You gotta go through all these thorns in the way to get there. But if you, at this point, you're at the top of the mountain, so you're already stronger. So you're able to get through that thorn valley quicker, right? Because you know there's more on the other side. Just don't give up yet. And like I had said in my last video, that was mainly for teenagers. And again, that was like 7 years ago. I had told you guys that you could reach out to me if you were thinking about any of that, and I want to turn you in. Because one other thing I learned in 2020 is that there's no research that shows that it ultimately stops the action to place them in the hospital. It might right then and there, but there's just no, you can't force people to fix themselves. And putting them in this new scary place is not gonna help. Yeah, it buys them time, but not you. Like, you're just frozen. And thoughts, dark thoughts just don't scare me anymore. They don't. And I think that's okay, because it helps me relate to a lot more people and have compassion for a lot more people and their suffering. I just don't want to lose any more of you guys. So hopefully I hear from at least 5 of you. I'm Jess, by the way.